Hello everyone, my name is David and I'm a backyard carpenter, and I have a little product here today that I've had for many years, and it's become invaluable in my tool shed, and it's called a Haddon Lunbermaker, and this is the box that it is shipped in, although this one is very faded and torn up nowadays because it's been in my arsenal of tools for so long. What this does is it takes a log, which you see here in the little picture, and you can slice that log accurately, and in doing that you can turn a fallen tree into a valuable piece of timber that you can use for any building project. I've used a fallen cedar tree on one part of our property as a fireplace mantle, and it's a huge, thick, wonderful piece of wood that has a lot of character to it because I sliced it myself the way I wanted it to be. Well, anyway, today what we're going to be doing is demonstrating how this Haddon Lunbermaker works, and what I'm going to do is explain a little bit to you about it. First of all, you use your own chainsaw, and what I've done is I've replaced the blade on my chainsaw with a brand new blade that is sharpened from the factory, and that way it cuts straight and true. Otherwise, you'll end up with your cut drifting back and forth through the wood, and that's not good for making good straight cuts in lumber or in logs. Now, the way this thing works is it has a little track here where my hand is going right now, and this little track is where your primary lead beam will go, and that's your guide beam for a straight cut. That's what I've got right here. This yellow colored or whitish yellow colored piece of concrete hardy plank is actually going to be my guide board, and you can see I've got a screw hole down here, countersunk on this end, and also one on the other end, way down the other end of the board. And what those are for is that you screw them level with the direction you want your cut to be in the piece of timber that you're cutting on. What I have to do today is I have to make a vertical cut through this piece of wood that goes all the way through and 9.5 inches deep into the wood, so that a T-brace can fit down inside of this wood, which will be screwed through holes I'm going to drill in the sides here. And that way the T-brace, or whatever you want to call it, is sandwiched between two pieces of wood and holds tightly in place. So I'm going to go ahead and set this guide board in place where the saw will ride in a few minutes, and then I'll come back and so you can see what it's going to look like. But basically, I've already marked the cut in the wood that I want to make along this line, and this is the depth that I want to make the cut back over here. That's as deep as I want to go along the length of the wood. And when you have your guide beam set up, like I've got your guide face beam, whatever you want to call it, you go ahead and you start making the cut. You pivot the saw down into the wood all the way. I'm going to move it over here where you can see where it'll go, where it'll make a 90-degree cut through the wood and cut all the way from here to where my depth is that I want to stop the cut. So I'm gonna, if you give me a few minutes to set this up, get this board attached at the right position, I'll make the cut and show you how it goes.